All right, we are back. How is it going tonight, Zach?
I'm tired.
Oh, I bet you are. You had a long weekend. I can't wait to talk about it. I can't wait to see what you thought of Island. And I saw your giant pile of Q-tips on social and whatnot. And yeah, I can't wait to talk about it. But first off, we have a couple of sponsors tonight. Um, I'm going to hit the first one right away. I'm going to put it down here on the ticker. Guys, our new sponsor tonight is Dollar Hobbies. So, Dollar Hobbies started back in 2002, always been in Minnesota. They started as a small company and grew and grew and grew to what they are today. Dollar Hobbies is the largest seller of Traxxas products on Amazon. They have a freshly revamped website ran by experienced RC racers, crawlers, and bashers. Website is awesome. I was watching them as they're prototyping it. Dude, excellent. They have over 13,000 products available on dollarhobbies.com. Over 130 brands carried. Nobody in the US beats our prices. They will price match. Free shipping within the US 48 on orders over $49. Most orders ship the same day. They always have coupons and promotions running at dollarhobbies.com/deals. That's hobbies with a Z. They have an awesome indoor carpet track where they do on road and off road on it. And it's very beginner friendly all the way up to top level drivers. They have rental cars available. They have birthday parties and corporate events and private events, which begin at $249. And they have skilled store staff to help with repairs and how to get started. I'm really excited for this one because you guys can see the coupon codes going at the bottom of the screen. So use Joe Jr., all one word, at checkout at dollarhobbies.com to save 10% off your entire order. Use DRC at checkout at dollarhobbies.com, hobbies with a Z, to save 15% off all Donathan RC products. This promotion is good until August 31st. I'm really excited to have Dollar Hobbies as a sponsor. We got them on for 4 episodes.
Oh,
So,
that's awesome.
yeah, and we're want to have Jeff on tonight. Jeff is like I would call him like an overall guy at Dollar Hobbies. Not
hmm
only is he a racer, but he works very hard behind the scenes to make what the customer at Dollar Hobby sees. And he's an awesome teammate at DRC.
Yeah,
So,
he's a really good resource for that area, especially for on-road racers.
yep.
Jeff's a really friendly guy. He's pretty quick, and he is really knowledgeable in quite a few areas in the not only setup but also in like the shop, back end stuff as well. I got to see the website as him slash others were developing it, and it's a huge improvement from what it was. The old website was
It was clunky.
I don't understand how it really functioned. Um,
Well,
yeah.
when I first started going on dollarhobbies.com, it was before they were where they were now. And
Hmm.
Dollar Hobbies used to be a different thing back in the day.
Okay.
So they started similar to A Main with like kidding stuff out,
Hmm.
if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And they never used to have a storefront. It was just a little warehouse. And then they moved, they opened up a big hobby shop, they opened up an RC track. It is fantastic. Awesome pit areas. I love the new carpet on the off-road, and I've said that many times. Very good
They're
grip.
using the ETS carpet.
No, I thought they were using the ETS carpet. I am wrong. They found some stuff at Home Depot, which is 99 cents a square foot. And honestly, I believe every track in the country should switch to it. It wouldn't be good for tire manufacturers because the tire wear is very, very, very low, which is excellent.
But the grip's good.
Oh, the grip is excellent. No sauce, which is, I'm Mr. Skeptical, but when we actually did it, it was great. So, yeah, check out dollarhobbies.com. They also have their, if you're not part of the Dollar Hobbies group on Facebook, they have Dollar Hobbies Racing Group or something along those lines. Their racing schedule is on the Dollar Hobbies webpage as well. All right, let's catch up with the chat, and we'll start with what I had going on. Doug Reek says your saddle leads are awesome, Zach.
Oh, yeah, thank you. That's the dual 2S lead.
Yeah. And Jacob refers you to the DRC guy. He was awesome at Island and awesome. Well, you are the DRC guy. Keenan White checking in from the No Name RC podcast. We're going to talk about that giant pile of Q-tips you had sitting there that were just filthy. We'll talk about that.
I threw away a pile that big. I didn't even think about it. And then I threw them away, and I was like, oh, that would have been a great picture.
Yeah.
And then, so I just saved the rest on from the rest of the weekend.
Yeah. So we'll talk about, I've been racing, I've been having tough times and all that. But you know what? I went parking lot racing last week. It's kind of a play on a name that already exists in the Minnesota community, but it's the MNRC PLR Minnesota Parking Lot Racing Series, brought to you by Party Crashers. Chris McKelps has always been a friend of mine. Yeah, we went, raced on the parking lot, had a good time after a rough time with the fifth scales. I ran the RC10. It worked like an RC10, It was fun. I TQ'd and won, but I only won because I got extremely lucky. Gary Zdenek, who owns Oval Track up in Minnesota, he blew a spur gear on his Bandit. And then another guy, Jay, he browned out for a little bit because I had a really rough start to the race. But anyways, that brings us to our next sponsor, Party Crashers RC. He's doing some pretty cool stuff. So Party Crashers RC, they're the RC professionals. They're going to be doing, I love this, and they did it last year, but they're going to be doing an RC summer camp for kids from 5th to the 12th grade. It will take place the week of July 4th to July 18th within the St. Michael School District, the STMA School District. Kids will get their very own unassembled kit, a charger, a battery, an upgraded set of tools, a toolbox, and a can of spray paint of their color choice. It's worth $470 with all that's included. And the class is only $495. It's a very great value for what you get. The class runs Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to noon. Monday through Thursday, we'll be building the slash kits with help from experienced RC crew. And then Friday, Party Crashers will put up their track, and the kids will get to race and learn some helpful driving tips for 3 hours. The Slash is a wonderful entry-level RC vehicle to give to kids, and it's a great introduction to off-road racing. There are plenty of local tracks that these can be raced at and plenty of parts part support from your local hobby shop. If you're in Minnesota, you know somebody in the St. Michael School District, spread the word around and get that class to become a success. This is the way you grow RC and get the next generation of racers going. If you know anyone that's interested, please let them know. More info can be found at the Party Crashers RC Racing website or the St. Michael Albertville Community Ed site. Registration will be limited to 24 kids. Sign up now. And
Actually, a really good value, because what else can you do for $100 a day?
not much, especially in the RC world.
Yeah. So, A plus to them. That's really cool. If reach out to them for me, Joe, and see if I can help in any way.
Okay.
I don't know if they're going to be using tracks and stuff. I can't make charge leads for it, but
Yeah.
But if I can help out in some other way, just let me know.
Sounds good. Will do. But yeah, it's definitely a really good value. And I mean, I've been racing for 38 years, 37 years. And I raced a Traxxas Slash last weekend or 2 weekends ago. You know, they're a great value. They're tons of fun. They're not serious, but it's still a great way to race. And and it's one of those things that's needed through school. So way back in the 90s when I was a kid, when dinosaurs or whatever ruled the earth, they used to have an actual class in school, in middle school, at the town next to us for RC cars. And that got 3 or 4 lifelong RC racers out of that. So it's definitely a great thing. Let people in the St. Michael's School District know, like if you know somebody, let them know. Be like, hey, because look, I know you've been asked about it. I get asked about, hey, how do you get into racing? Probably 10 times a month. And every time my answer is a Traxxas Slash. Just about. Or a TTO2 if they're not interested in the off-road side. I don't know. Do you get asked that often, Zach?
Sometimes. I've been recommending the Ready to Run associated car.
Okay.
What's it? It's like a B64 or something like that.
There used to be the Club Racer. They used to have the B6 and the B64 Club Racer.
Yeah. Did they discontinue that? I haven't got asked on off-road in a while.
Yeah, they discontinued that quite a while ago, which is a shame because it was definitely a great program Team Associated did.
Okay, well then the next best thing is going to be depending on what they want to do, but
yeah,
a lot of times it's like at the track up north, there's a class that's Legends Breakout that uses RJ Speed Legends chassis, which is like $120 or something.
Yeah, well they
can use.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, that's okay. But and then you can use any speedo, any servo, any motor, any battery, because it's a breakout class.
Yeah.
So like some people are running 4 5s at like 10%.
Yeah. Well, because if you get faster than a 15-second lap, you break out and you have to do 2 laps to equal 1. I love that.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a really cool class, and then they have like a intermediate class at that track too, at the lower level.
Yep.
I don't know if intermediate's the right word because it's still competitive, but it's not full blown touring car. But they're using the Yokomo Rookie Speed. I can't remember which one. And then it's a spec body, spec tire, I think spec motor, any like 6,000 milliamp battery, and then like very minimal upgrades. I think like 1 or 2 small things you can do, just like the Euro truck type thing. And it's great because they handle pretty good and they look pretty good.
That's awesome. So anyway, yeah, let's run through my racing real quick because I keep learning the same lessons over and over and over again Well, you'd think I'd learn them.
Yeah.
They're keeping taught to me, but it's like maybe I can get away with it this time. Lee Grace check it in from Australia. Scott Schultz check it in. So last episode I was telling you about this Amazon $90 knockoff motor for the 5T.
Hmm.
And I'm like, what can go wrong? It's a 2-stroke motor. It's a piston and port motor. It's pretty hard to screw it up. Well, they screwed it up. What happened was Joey last Saturday got one qualifier, half a qualifier in, a little bit of practice and half a qualifier. And then the motor popped. He wasn't doing anything wrong. The ring slid off the piston and created destruction. So people are wondering, should I buy that cheap whatever off of Amazon? From here on out, I'm going to say the answer is always no. Spend the money every time, because you know what? A stock, tried and true Losi motor, the Zenoa G320 RC, is like $320. And I shouldn't be so cheap because that motor was 4 years old when it wore out. I mean, that's a great value.
Money's worth. Yeah, because like if you go buy an R1 motor with the handpick stuff, it's more than, I think it's like $300.
Is it $300 now?
It's like their service or whatever. It's expensive.
Yeah, last time I checked, it was like close to like $225, but I haven't checked on an R1 motor in like 3-4 years.
Well, let's find out. You talk. I'll do some looking.
Oh yeah. Anyway, and like I've said on this show before, if you're racing fifth scale, you don't need a modified motor. You do need a pipe, and you do need a clutch. We raced down at Southern last Saturday, down in Blooming Prairie, Minnesota. That was a great time. I was honestly worried about racing fifth scale on that layout because there are some tight sections. Oh man, I shouldn't have been worried. That layout is the most fun layout that the Dockin family have put in. Bobby Moore and the Dockin family just put in a awesome layout, and it's awesome for everything. There were, there's a guy out there with the 10 scale 4x4 SCT that was doing everything just fine. So from 10 scale to 5th scale, it's an excellent track. But yeah, so after Joey blew his motor, I decided to sit out the day and let him run my truck. And well, he got extremely lucky because Drew Dockin, he's the owner's son, and he also does a ton of track work as well. He's pretty damn fast. He's one of the closest ones in Minnesota to Seth Van Dalen. He was racing the 5th scale, and Joe 3 got lucky because his motor screws fell out. So Joe 3 was able to take the win in that one. Chris is wondering, hey, where are we racing at this weekend? Chris, I have the next 2 weekends off, and you know what? This time I'm taking the next 2 weekends off. I'm not going to fill it up with RC work. Yeah. Where are you racing this week? Are you racing this weekend, Zach?
No. I'm not racing until the beginning of July. July 4th weekend.
Okay.
I was wrong about the R1 motors. I can only find them for like 130.
Really? 1%.
I don't even see it on there. I don't know how you
really
even buy that. So
okay, because yeah, back in the day, you could get the 1% motor with all the titanium stuff ready to roll, and it was a good. You could buy a hand-picked motor from whatever other company, and you're like, you never knew if you're going to get a turd. With R1, if you spent the money to get one of their hand-picked motors, you knew you were getting an awesome motor. So, speaking of, I'm jumping around here. Was Dominic Pacquiao at the at Island? Was he at the Nationals?
Yes.
Did you look at his R1 buggy?
I did not.
Ah!
I knew he was running it, but beyond that, I didn't.
Yeah, so I did not know that. So I listened to the new episode of the Don't Name RC podcast today. It was a mid-season report with Jason Rona on there, and they were talking about it. And there's Jason said, he's like kind of walked by it and glanced at it, and he said, it looks as good as you think an R1 buggy would look.
Okay, see, I thought it was a Team Associated buggy. Because that's what he put on the sponsor sheet. That's what I thought he put. I could be wrong.
I don't know. I heard it was a R1 buggy. So anyway, yeah, man. Like I said, though, don't go cheap on stuff, and yeah, have fun racing fifth scale. Go race in the parking lot. We got a really cool thing happening in Minnesota right now, Zach. We have on-road happening in parking lot with a crew called the Road Rash RC guys. Matt Campbell and Stephen Michael head up that crew.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the Party Crashers, the MNRC PLR events. That's your off-road parking lot racing. And none of it's serious. We're all having fun. I mean, it's racing, but it's like more like sitting in a parking lot BSing with your friends on a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, it's more of like the club racing, if I can say it like that, and less like serious racing.
Exactly.
And that's how like Queen City is, except I bring the seriousness because of my PC, but like in the pro nitro class is kind of serious too. But the like the sportsman nitro class, or I don't remember what they call it, like the not pro class, and like they have a GT8 class.
Yep.
That's like, that looks so much fun because I see these cars pile off the 2x4 boards and nothing happens. It looks amazing.
Yeah. That's it. The GT8s, I think they're made cars now, but GT8s started as scaled down A-scale buggies.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Croning's saying it's total guess on what tires work, but it is a lot of fun. Matt, so I guess, actually, I didn't even guess what tires worked on that RC10, Zach. I had silver smoothies from the Vintage Clash, so that's what I used. They were a little loose, but they were pretty freaking good. I ain't used any sauce. I just cleaned them off after every run. And Joe, oh, go ahead.
I bet like a clay pin tire, like damn it, I can't think of any.
Yeah.
I can't think of one treaded tire.
Yeah, maybe like they make a rehab buggy tire, but they would get chewed up in like 2 runs.
Like
Sprinter Reflex dirt. Oh, like a bar tire, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Joe 3, we took his Bandit Sprint oval car. That's the only oval car I still have. I sold the rest of them today. We took his Bandit Sprint oval car and put a Bandit body on it, and I use the oval tires. I use Proline Hoosiers on his car. It's a treaded clay tire.
Yeah,
dude, they were phenomenal. It's like,
that's awesome. That's a good idea.
Yeah, it's like, I kind of wish I could use them. I can't use them. You know, that's the one tire that J Concepts currently does not have is like a road treaded, or an oval
Mm.
style tire like the Hoosier. But they worked very well on Joe 3's Bandit, and the wear was he's going to get the full season out of those. I'm going to have to get at least 2 more sets of slicks.
Yeah, but I mean,
It's no big deal. No big deal. You know.
yeah.
So, anyways, let's talk a little bit about Island. So it was your first time. I was supposed to go, but we talked about the calamity of fifth scales and all that in the prior episode. So, your first time at Island, what did you think?
Did you listen to Keenan's podcast about trackside?
Yes.
How he went, like, every time you turn a corner, you feel like there's another room.
Yes.
That's how it feels
Yeah.
to me. Like, I was walking through this place, I'm looking around, and like, there's a spot over here. Oh, there's a spot over here. I didn't even go through the tech area until Sunday because I didn't know it was over there.
Is the tech area still by the Hot Wheels track?
No, they did the tech area on the left. So if you look at the building,
Yep.
like you're walking in, it's on the left, like with the left door. If you
Yep.
walk straight in the left door, that's where the tech area was.
Okay.
And you under the yeah. So, I didn't know. So I got there Thursday night, set up my pit spot, and then I left. And I looked around a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, because I
and
called you and asked you.
right, and I looked at in the shop, and I like the and then there were some stairs that went up, and I was like, oh, that must be like storage or something.
Nope.
And I didn't even go to the back pits until Saturday.
The pink room?
Yeah, the pink room, and then you got Tom's office.
Yep.
And then the oval track. And I
Yep.
didn't even get to the crawler course. I just like popped my head into and looked at the oval track real quick.
Oh, man.
That place is huge.
So that place was built in the early 1900s, and it used to be a toy factory way back then. And during the World Wars, it was converted into a munitions factory. And then always converted back to a toy factory. And then it was this, and then it was that. And the last thing it was, and it's the reason you can have pits upstairs, it was a shooting range before it was a track. So they built up the low ceilings, and that's why it's all like cemented, and you can pit up in that loft area because it's already built up because, you know, people shooting and whatnot.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, if I win, I was actually going to bring my daughter, and she would have spent all of her money in the comic book area alone.
Yeah, that place was. There was so if you haven't been there, it's probably like 40 feet.
Yeah, it's long.
It's pretty long. It's like the room's probably only like it might be 6 foot across, but there's probably 6 feet of comics tall. Like a comic's
Yep.
like a foot tall. It might be more than that.
So by the bathrooms, the stacks of white boxes, those are all comics as well. Yeah.
Yeah, there's got to be like a million comics in there.
So that's T-Mac's real hobby. He's his whole life. I wish I could live T-Mac's life for like a week. So he owns Island with his wife. Mm-hmm. He's into comics, and he's also a baseball umpire.
I know he's going this. He's leaving. I can't remember if it's this week or next week, and going to be on the road for a month.
Yeah,
doing that, and then going to get back a week before the Roar Nationals.
I know.
I was just blown away. It was super cool.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, the people there are super nice. The locals, the staff, Tom and is it Susan?
Yeah, I think so.
his wife.
Chewy says softball he's going to be umping for. Still awesome, though.
Yeah, it was just like it was cool. The track was what I feel like a carpet off-road track should be.
Yep.
Like I I think the layout was fine. I think they could have made a couple small changes to make it flow a little bit better. Like some of the corners were a little hard. Like there was like this tabletop in the back right hand corner that led into a 90-degree corner, like a hard 90. I think if they did 245s there, that would have made that just a little bit better. But
Yep.
just like small things, it's like I can't like really fault the place. I talked to a few of the pro drivers early on, and they said the middle section where the old carpet was didn't have a lot of grip, but by Sunday they said the track was great. Yeah, and like no issues, everything ran smoothly. There was some great racing that happened. I didn't get to stay for all the mains, but yeah, it was super cool. They want me to come back for the nationals, and I can't. I'm gonna be on vacation.
Yeah, for the Nationals, I might be doing a remote commentary gig.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's one of those things. It's like I said, I found that place during COVID. The track was half the size, and I've watched them. Like everything else has kind of been the same, but I've watched the off-road track grow, and it's just been amazing. One thing, I don't know if they got new carpet or they call some of it the old carpet and some of it the new carpet, because the newer carpet was on the on-road track that never ever got used. Okay.
I didn't ask. That's just what some of the pros told me.
But regardless, so I went there for the hoodie event, and they were talking about getting new carpet. And like I talked earlier today about Dollar Hobbies carpet, I've been before Tom and Jamie make any move on any other carpet, I'm begging them to come up and run on Dollar on an off-road week. So they're also resurfacing the jumps now. They got enough carpet to do the jumps, so they're getting rid of the black carpet on the jumps as well. It's, you know what? I can't say it's the best because you never know what's the best until time ends. But it's the best that is available right now. Shuey's saying after the Roaring Nats. No, that's a good call. Because that's a lot of coverage. It really is. Jacob's saying the layout was super tough. It looked easy, but man, it was easy to lose time and tough to gain time. Absolutely. So, Jacob, you weren't there for the hoodie race, and so that layout was actually fairly easier, easy. It was easy to be medium quick on, but to get that extra little bit, you had to hang your nuts on the edge, and that was hard. It's like the layout was super easy to drive, and it was super easy to get high consistency. But if you wanted to be fast, you had to push.
So this layout was a little bit more difficult than that, but it was like risk reward, because in some of these sections, like there was, I think in stock buggy, the warm up for the AAA mains.
Yep.
So they had the you come off the wall ride and you come back around to that kind of triple, I guess.
Yeah.
The bigger jump, and if you landed that wrong on the inside, you got sent outside. And Nate landed it wrong. It's like 20 seconds into it, and snapped his arm off.
Oh no!
I think that's what happened. And then another guy I was pitting across from did the
Yep.
same thing and broke hinge pin block at
Yeah.
the hinge pin line. It was crazy.
Yeah. No, it's a bigger track, so it's going to be higher speed than most people are used to as well.
Yeah,
Uh,
it was super cool though.
yeah. No, one time, so in that long wall ride, and I want to say it was the first or second time I brought my dad there. They had the a chicane in that long wall ride.
What? In the
Oh yes.
dude.
You want to talk about risk reward? But it was fun because that was back when we were still running foam tires on that track, and the grip was smoother. It
Okay.
Oh, it it was something. It is fun when they put a chicane in that long wall ride. But the thing is, I mean, you can see it well throughout the driver's stand, but it definitely that section alone dictates where you stand on the driver's stand.
Yeah.
Because if you're not making the straightest line possible, you're losing a second.
Hmm.
But again, though, they've done awesome things over the years, and I'm glad that they're finally, getting. They've always gotten their locals, but I'm glad they're getting these big races because they definitely deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go through some results. Let's what class? Let's say two-wheel buggy modified.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Brock Champlin gets double. He gets 2 and 4-wheel
Yeah.
with Spencer Rifkin in the second, Aiden Horn in the third, Schimmel, highest finishing X-ray and 2-wheel mod in the 4.
Mm-hmm.
Renderdick in the 5, Fend in the 6. I thought
Yeah.
I'd see Fend higher up there. And they take 11. Don't they take 10 straight in and 11th?
Yeah.
And it's something like that.
Yeah. The one person bumped, or maybe two people bumped in
Okay.
for the A's, but the lowers were one.
Yep. I got you. So yeah, it's super cool. Oh, Ed Fiore. I see he was down there. Henley was down there.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's cool. Eddie made it.
Yeah.
Chris
What?
Dosek.
He took Talon. Yeah.
Dude, Chris Dosek made it?
Yeah.
Did the vintage clash kind of light something under Chris's rear end or what?
I don't know. He said something about Mike wanting to. I can't remember exactly what he said, but I talked to him for a little bit, and he said Mike had a buggy, and he's like, "You should go run it." And so here I am.
That's cool though.
Yeah, Chris is a cool guy to talk to.
Yeah. Yeah, and then
Yeah, but the
go ahead. I was just looking at 4-wheel modified buggy. You got Brock Champlin taking the win, followed by Brennan Schimmel, Tom Rinderneck in the 3, Spence Rifkin in the 4, Fenn in the 5. Really good recovery for Rinderneck after kind of having a lackluster, not a rough start, but a learning curve with the Schumachers. And the Coyote or whatever electronics.
Let me tell you about Tom, because
He figures shit out.
Well, yeah, but also his shit was the fastest on the track.
Yeah.
Like, not even close. And
Yeah.
he said he turned it down. He said he had 8 more boosts when he started than when he went into qualify.
Well, that's cool.
And he was still the fastest car. Like, he could have, in one of the qualifiers, he could have passed someone going into the wall ride. He was carrying so much speed. It was insane.
Yeah, I love that.
Tom probably had the fastest car, but he had a couple unfortunate mistakes.
Yeah.
Each time, I think in one of the qualifiers, it was a lap car, just kind of like, it wasn't like the lap car fault, but one of the guys got caught up and then hit Tom on the way by, and then took, then 2-3 seconds, and that's the race
Yeah.
for TQ.
Yeah.
But Brock, not to take anything away from Brock, he started out a little slower and gained momentum consistently. And I don't know.
Speed wise, Brock always has a slow car in comparison. Speed
It was
wise, doesn't
on
matter what
par.
company he's with.
It was on par with the other cars, like Schimmel or Dakota's
Okay.
car. Was about the same speed, I would say. It was kind of hard to tell because I wasn't looking at that aspect, but I didn't see, like, all the other cars seemed about the same speed, but yeah, Tom's car was just
So
stupid fast.
with Brock, what I notice about Brock, and when he's on and when he's winning, I've noticed the way he drives, he'll pull 75 feet on the competition on the infield, but he'll lose 70 of it on the straightaway. But you do that lap after lap and you gain that straightaway speed, doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think he might have put a little more in.
Well, that's
Um,
good if he, because I mean, I haven't really watched him this year except for the Clash of Champions. That's the only time I've really watched him close this year. But prior to that, that's the way it kind of worked with him.
yeah, this is the first time I watched him race. I kind of had some time in between, and I got to watch all the the A mains
Yeah.
or the A qualifiers.
All right. So let's get through some more results because you got a hard out in 45 minutes and I want to hit
do.
some news.
Okay, let's do it.
So Nate Sutherland wins 17.5 expert two wheel, followed by Jovi and Dustin. Aaron Mitchell finishing in the 5. Now, I was going to guess he was going to win it. It looks like Talon Henley figured out something because Talon beat him. Aaron, though, he's fast. Top 5 in that group with Levi Raymond and Jake Wiggs behind him. Chase Raymond in the 8th. Schweisberger making the main, finishing in the 9th. Looks like Kyle Holmberg, Minnesota local and Region 7 team manager, finishes in the 11th. I mean, that was a super stacked field when somebody like Daniel Bender finishes 22nd and Alex Terrio finishes 23rd. That is a massive, difficult field. I'm looking at it. It's like if I would have made that B main, it would have been the bottom. Usually it's like I look at an INS event, it's like I'm mid pack B, maybe top of the A. One time, oh, you lost your earphones?
My cat was doing something weird, and I make sure he wasn't tearing down the. I don't even know what he was
Gotcha.
doing. Sorry.
One time I got lucky at the final NCTS event at Island before they combined the names, and I made an A main, but it's like I'm looking at this group. I'm like, I don't know if I would have made the B, dude.
Yeah, I can say that the X-Ray guys were not happy with the performance of their cars as a whole.
Yeah.
Not picking on any names, but
No.
that's what was kind of the common thing. And a couple said in particular they feel like they didn't have the steering.
Well, they're not going to be perfect at every track, and they definitely shouldn't accept it, but they need to learn to adapt.
Well, I think it's something that they could definitely have like a carpet part or something for.
Yes.
So I think they're quicker on dirt than carpet based off the Schumacher. And then the Schumacher is quicker on carpet than dirt.
So Schumacher swept the top 4 classes because they won
Mhm.
mod and stock buggies.
Yeah, with Brock and Nate. Yeah.
Yeah, because Nate won 13.5, Dustin Fox in the 2, Dustin X-Ray now,
Yes, Dustin was extra.
Aaron Mitchell in the 3rd, Chase Raymond in the 4th, Jake Wiggs in the 5, and then you had Levin in there, Henley. Who's this Callis Lowe? He finished in 8.
I don't know.
Levi Raymond in the 9th, Daniel Chavez in the 10th.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and again, stacked field.
Yeah.
Totally stacked field. So awesome. And it looks like Stadium Truck had a good
It was a ton of stadium trucks.
I got Jovi Levin 1, Kyle Holmberg in the 2, Nate Sutherland in the 3. I mean, shit.
Yeah. I will say for four-wheel drive buggy, I did notice that Dustin straight up had the most power. I don't know what exactly was going on. But his shit was on point.
That's awesome. BJ Williams is saying Callis Lowe's from the Pacific Northwest.
I think I met him. There was a couple guys that were there that I've never seen before or heard before.
Yep.
But everyone was super nice.
I love it. Lee Bush checking in. And that's a great thing about these INS events, because even though they're held in the Midwest, and Midwest guys could fill these up 100%. You got guys coming from around the country, because it's, I would say, 75% of Aurora National every race.
Sometimes more. Like
the turnout's larger, but I'm saying talent-wise.
Yeah. I think the last couple at Hoosier RC have been more. The talent field is deeper.
Definitely the Clash.
The INS is close.
Yeah.
Or at the same.
Shui's saying he's an AE kid. He came last year as well. Yeah, dude, January, that Clash in January, that was bananas.
Yeah, the one before that was the same way.
Yeah. All right, let's hit some news, because we have a few things. We'll see what happens. Southwest Airlines is absolutely, the RC industry as a whole, the traveling industry, is boned.
Is it the bag thing again?
Yes, it's still the bag thing. Unless you're Elite RC and they're the only ones willing to drive 20 hours at a time. But that's the thing, not just the media, your pros. Your pros bring 2 OGIO bags to every event. Unless you're whatever status, which nobody is hitting, maybe some of the J Concepts guys, maybe. So I think we're going to see different media companies popping up in regions.
Well, how much is it to check an additional bag? Is it still $100?
Yeah, but it's something like 100 or 150, and when you have 8 to 10 bags.
No, I'm not. I'm with you with the 8 to 10 thing. But if a pro has 2 bags, like,
yeah, well, it definitely adds. And we've discussed before where pros, a lot of them aren't even making enough to make a real living, what I would consider a real living. Yeah. And then that adds in there. I mean,
I will also say they all bring stuff that's unnecessary. Like, not everybody needs a soldering iron. Not everybody needs all the stuff they're bringing. They could pare it down to 1 bag.
Yep.
And I say that as a person who brings literally everything I need to an event. Like, not everybody needs a drum.
Oh, I forgot to tell you that soldering iron tip you sent me that I got from your webpage. I finally used it and it worked excellent.
The fat one.
Yeah.
It works good. That's the one I use for. Well, I use that iron.
What do you use it at Celsius? Because it seems like 480 is too high.
Yeah, I did 400
400,
for
gotcha.
lead free. I think I did 375 or 350 for leaded.
Because it got to the point where the solder was evaporating.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, BJ, Southwest made a big mistake by changing their bag policy. Absolutely. They're going to see that. I mean, if they're no better, that's what separated them from like Frontier or Spirit. They're no different than Frontier or Spirit now. They're really not.
Yeah. I mean, I'd throw them all in the same bin, except maybe Spirit is cheaper. But like United, American, all
Yeah.
them, it's all kind of the same.
I mean,
Just depends on who's going where and what price they're going for.
my wife is bougie about everywhere she flies, so we're Delta whenever I go anywhere with her.
Yeah, I'm Delta. I mean, they're all like, I flew Delta, and that was the cheapest one. Like some of them
Really?
are. It just depends. Yeah, it just depends where you're going and how many layovers you want. And
Yeah.
like I'll pay $100 more not to have an additional layover.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because you're gonna miss that second flight almost every time.
Yeah.
So yeah. Team Associated. Another re-release. Not in order of anything. They, like I said before, they could have done this in order, but it's a cool truck. It's the Clifflet re-release, the RC10T. See if I can bring it up here.
I don't even know what you're talking about. That's how much I'm paying attention to the re-releases now.
It's pretty. Lee is saying he loves Allegiant, but not enough destinations. So we have airport in a town in Minnesota called St. Cloud. Okay.
Mhm.
And I want to say they fly to Arizona and Florida, and that is it. And the airport closes at 4:30 p.m.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
So they do like one shift of employees.
Yeah, basically. And
Yeah, I mean,
they
that's
go
okay.
they go to somewhere in Nevada, but it's not Vegas or Reno. I don't remember exactly, but they go somewhere in Nevada as well. But it's, yeah, Lee's saying he flew to Orlando for $150. All right, I'm sharing the Clifflet edition. There it is. So
That seems expensive.
that's what they're all going to cost, because you know what? People are paying it. And I love the chassis. I love that they got into the powder coating. It's a pretty proper truck, with the caveat that if it's the same aluminum as the team car, God, that would suck. Because that aluminum on that re-release team car is no good.
Super special.
Soft. It's
Yeah.
freaking recycled pop can and Subaru aluminum. I mean, it's just not good at all. And I've tested it with old stuff. I'm like, so I bent that corner. I bent it back, no problem, with a pair of pliers. I'm like, I shouldn't be able to do this. I had an old chassis just laying around, and I grabbed my pliers on it, and I tried to bend it, wouldn't budge. It's like, yeah, so this is what we're dealing with. But it's a good looking truck. It'll look great on your shelf. If you're a vintage guy, $419.
420.
Yeah. I love that chassis. I love that they went with the powder coat. Yeah, piss poor job stamping. So that's the industry I'm in. And you see, I don't know if you can see it on your screen,
I can see it. The line at the top.
that lip at the top.
Hmm.
Dude, did they lose the ability to form that correctly? That's not hard. And what they did, and what I guarantee, I can't say guarantee. I could never say guarantee. But instead of forming it as a flat piece, I bet they extruded the aluminum and they trim that edge. And that's how you get that line, because they make it into like a solid piece and you have a big flashing around the edge. And then they probably hit it and trimmed it. You know, doesn't look good. But powder coated. Love it. Speaking of Team Associated, they released some kind of a teaser of a new vehicle that will probably be out tomorrow or next Tuesday. It's usually a Tuesday.
Oh, I'll tell everyone. Why not? Brent Thelke said that a new buggy was on its way and it's going to be here soon.
B7
2
point.
weeks.
Yeah.
2 weeks.
Could literally be 1 week now because they're started with the teaser.
I think it would be foolish for them to release it before Worlds.
We'll see. Like I said, they started teasing it today. And when they start teasing it, that's when, and that sucks because I have nothing else to sell RC for RC money. Well, that's not true. I could sell some of my vintage collection. Yeah, they're going for another world championship, so that means
sway bar.
I don't know.
Well,
but
it looks like a sway bar mount to me.
It does, and it looks like a 10 scale, doesn't it? So is that going to be for their? Is that going to be for their 4-wheel or their 2-wheel? Because that's not an 8
3
scale.
dots, so I don't think it's going to be 8 scale.
Do you think? No,
it's not a.
I'm trying to think of all the different world champions because they're saying they're on a pursuit of another one. So I'm guessing it's going to be, I would say with that rear end setup, I would guess 4-wheel because that 4-wheel's been out and about quite a bit.
Yeah, and this is the rear for sure because you can see the top of the diff case.
Yes.
And you can see the chassis underneath the bottom of the diff case there.
Yep.
It might be a 4-wheel, yeah.
Look at dude, yeah. Now that you mention it, I didn't even look at the chassis there. Getting that sway bar nice and low. And like we both, everybody in the RC world has known they've had a production, at least close to production ready wheeler for quite some time now.
Yeah, I don't know enough to like see the difference. And
it's way. I should almost grab my B74.2 right now and just show you the height of the rear sway bar in comparison.
Yeah, but can you pull it up on screen?
I will pull it up. Sorry. I got
to. But if I'm not, I don't know that though. Like,
yeah.
If I'm,
I would say.
Like, I could tell the difference between the Schumacher prototype and the Schumacher four-wheel drive.
Well, yeah. Yeah, definitely. So this was on Facebook, so we'll look at it on Facebook.
Do you want me to send you the thing?
No, I'm pulling it up right now. Sorry, I started going to Team Associated's webpage, and it's like it's not going to be on there.
But so I think that's pretty cool. But he was referencing when Brent said that he was talking about a 2-wheel drive buggy because that's what he was in the context was.
Well, yeah, I bet they're going to release them fairly at the same time. All right, so I got that picture up. Now I got to pull you back up and then share my screen once again. All right. Man, if I was a little bit more There we go. We'll go here and we'll go here. All right, it's coming up right now. So this is what we're looking at, guys.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, yeah, it's definitely a low sway bar mount, and they've already released a TC8.
Right, and I'm saying that where your mouse is there is the diff case, the bottom
Yep.
half of the diff case there.
Right. Oh, look how thin that is. Yeah, this is going to be interesting.
I don't think. Well,
Or
could it be a truck? Maybe.
the truck, but that doesn't equal a world championship.
Hmm.
Now, they could be. I'm going to say this. My money is on the B7.1 having a new rear gearbox.
I bet that's a front, not a rear.
You think this is a front? No,
Yeah.
I don't think that's a front. Not with the associated. Like, this is a ball stud mount, this Team Associated thing. That's the center of a ball stud mount. I bet if you zoom out, there's a ball stud on each side.
I'm thinking like the Schumacher. Because the
Okay,
Schumacher's real low like that in the front. Or
gotcha.
I think it is. I'm not. Like, I looked at a couple this weekend, and they seem to be kind of like that. But
Yeah. So either way, they're going for another world championship in either two-wheel or four-wheel because that is way too small to be an A-scale sway bar. Oh, you know what? Lee has a good point. He goes, where's the C and D block? Well, it's got to be, well, then it'd have to be front for a two-wheel. It would have to be the front for a two-wheel one way or another because you would have an A and a B block on a four-wheel.
that's what I'm saying. Because
Yeah.
that's really the chassis right there.
Yeah, but then I don't know. We're going to have to wait for more.
I don't know.
Because you got a sway bar and a gearbox.
It could be the new. It could be like a truck, like a stadium truck.
Yeah, but that doesn't work with the IFMAR World Championship they're talking about. Well, they're saying, yeah.
No,
Well,
that's not what they said in the post.
our 33 IFMAR World Championship titles are the result of design, passion, and the pursuit of perfection. So they mention world championships.
They don't say in the pursuit of another world championship. They say the
Sure.
pursuit of perfection.
Yeah. I gave Team Associated a little bit of shit last week because Masami did a post under the Team Associated page.
Mm-hmm.
And he was wearing a 26-time world championship shirt. I'm like, dude, you guys got to get him a new shirt. It's like you can't even hook the guy up with a shirt.
It's kind of cool that it's vintage, though.
Yeah, definitely. All right.
So what's next?
So I don't know. We got 24 minutes.
Yeah.
We got ETS results and Euros left.
Okay.
And a question.
All right. Let's do it.
All right. So ETS was.
I must be losing my mind because I don't even remember the ETS results anymore.
Well, yeah, because it's like, what do they use for scoring? Do you know?
I'm going to their Facebook page.
Okay. Anything new?
I'm pretty sure Orlowski won it, but I don't remember.
Orlowski's all over the place all the time.
Yeah, well, when you're the best driver in the world.
Yeah. Yep, there we go. So is this round 1, season 18 at Apeldoorn?
Yes.
All right, pulling up now.
There we go.
All right. So 5 things we learned. See, I love this. I'm on ETS There's articles, 5 things we learned from ETS round 1, Awesomatics and X-Ray leading constructors championship. There's a constructors championship. Huge win for Orlovsky. They have articles about their shit. I love this.
Do you know what's crazy?
What?
Simon Lauder, literally 7 months ago, won the stock world championship.
Yep.
The next month or something like that, he started like public racing mod, and I could be a little off on this, but
yeah,
he was like competing in the A main, and now he's podium above legit world champions and like super talented guy. Lucas is super fast on these types of tracks.
Yep.
You know, he didn't let Reinhard run away with it, and like Volker's behind him, and then Hagberg, and then Coelho, which is hilarious. I don't know what happened, but that is like nothing against Alex, and maybe he had an on weekend, and maybe Bruno was still working on it. But sometimes Alex is really good on specifically on asphalt. He seems like he's like that's his like what he's really good at, but he's no slouch on carpet either. He just seems like not as fast. And just sometimes Alex is super quick and like fighting for the lead, and other times it's like he's doing social media stuff and working with X-Ray to do something. And it's like it's clear that Alex's focus is no longer being a championship driver, but he's still really fast.
Sure. Yes.
Like a Dustin Evans, if you will, of off-road, or what Dustin Evans was.
So I'll be honest with you. This is the first time I've ever been to the ETS webpage, and it's phenomenal.
It's pretty cool, right?
This is like RC car action back in the day. And like, I don't know if INS does it, but why don't they have a manufacturer's championship at INS for each class? You know, this is awesome. So was there only 11 in modified, or 11 in the A?
No, that's the A.
Gotcha. Because because Burkhan Killick took 11th, Ronald Folk 10th. I don't know Eric Dankel, but I mean, you don't see any oddball cars. It's all Awesomatics, Mugen, Schumachers, X-Rays.
Yeah, I was surprised. There was no RC Maker car.
Oh yeah. Holy crap. So sorry I've been yawning a lot. It's been a long day. Besides Michael Orlovsky winning and a couple of Mugens and X-Rays sprinkled in there, it looks like that 800 RR is coming really hard.
They have, I think part of it's because they have the best drivers.
Yep.
Like when you looked before with like last year when it was Bruno and Alex, like it was Bruno, Alex, and then Rana Folk somewhere in there.
Yep.
Or Hootie. And it was like those are the 3 X-Ray guys.
Yep.
So the only Schumacher is ever Michael Orlovsky.
Yep.
And Awesomatics has, Lucas, Simon, and Mark now, or excuse me, Simon now in modified, and then you have there are quite a few fast Awesomatics drivers. So,
you know what I noticed? Orlovsky has the only motor that the brand isn't named.
I did see that. I bet it is an Elsaram 4 or 5.
That would be cool. Because every
Oh, go ahead.
no, you go ahead. You just figured something out.
I just remembered something that I was told. Um,
Oh, I got you.
the
Oh,
new
the
there's
great.
going to be some new motor stuff coming out, and apparently
Okay,
people are going to lose their minds.
I hope so. It's been a while.
Some innovative stuff.
I love innovative stuff. The dude with the
I won't
hair
say
finished well
anymore.
in stock.
He did. Hoffer, yeah.
Yeah, he finished fourth.
Uh-huh.
So ARC in that freaking number two spot. That ARC A1025 in the number 2. It's always good. And then you have an Iris 1 and you have an RC Maker in the main as well.
Well, the art car is really good on asphalt.
Yeah, you were saying that.
It's the problem is it's not good on carpet. Like it
Yeah.
just has way too much grip.
There were a couple guys who tried them way back in the day, and I've just never, I didn't. I'll be honest, I didn't even know they were still a company.
Yeah.
If you know, do you remember Eric Whiteside? He used to own a hobby shop, I think, in Wisconsin. Him
Yeah,
and his
RJ's dad.
Yeah, him and his boy used to run them. And then they were the last ones I knew in the Midwest that ran them. And
I bet it was Mark Livermore was the last one because
okay,
until like I don't know, maybe like 21, Mark ran an art car and then he like tried an X-ray out and picked up like a lap and a half.
yeah,
And
that's
he was like,
awesome.
okay, that's it.
Yeah, at that point, you just got to throw your hands in the air and be like, "Hey, I tried. I'm done."
Dude, that was me with the Gizmo and the Automatic car.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
like, cool. I went from being like 5/10 a lap off to being 1/10 a lap off.
right. And that's
And I was
huge.
like, okay, well, I can't. What are you gonna do?
So to the listeners out there, go to www.ets.racing. Go through their website. It is flipping cool. Actually, I'm going to keep that up for when we're done here. I'm going to go through the thing. And again, I'm impressed. I'm impressed by the webpage.
They do some cool stuff.
They do. And then we just got the Euros, and we had a little bit of controversy in the Euros.
I mean, I'm gonna say there's no way he was making that corner. So he straight up used. I don't even remember who hit who, but that's what my take on it was.
So he waited. Oh, why am I doing it this way? I can't share my screen this way. Hold on. Let me do this another way. I am just not. So, but he waited because he knew, because at the Euros they have referees. He knew they were going to call him.
It doesn't matter. Like,
No, it was mutual assured self-destruction. Why is freaking people? I don't know, man. All of a sudden I see, I'm not even going to tell you what I see on my Facebook feed. You got that. Oh, I might have gone too far. Maybe not. Hold on. I'm working my way to it. I tell you what, I only use Facebook on the webpage when we're on this episode, and it always works like junk. Because the video, this is where you're saying you'd argue it's a takeout. So I'm getting close to the video. There we go. Now let's see if I can pull that up full screen. All right. Hopefully we won't get tagged with anything here. We'll keep the volume off because RC Racing TV, I bet they have the copyright things, which they should. Share screen, because this is the last thing we had, and we're gonna get you out of here on time. Wow, no way. That can't be. All right. We are sharing now. And did I just freeze? There we go.
Let's
All
see.
right.
Hold
We're
on.
restarting. They
Why don't you
hit
go
the
full
stubble.
screen?
You're right. I should. Sorry.
People
Sorry.
can see it.
Yeah. I always forget. Okay, let's go back. Go back. Go back. Go back. So this is Ungaro behind JCC and boof.
There's no way he's making that corner.
That
No
was
fucking way.
that's just a big F you. That's all that was. I don't know. He was in line.
His rear's in the air. He wasn't even in control of the
Oh,
car.
dude. I know, but it's so Ungaro that it's like you can't expect anything else from him. This is exactly what you expect from him. And yes, he's got all these world championships, and he is definitely top three fastest A scale driver in the world. But I still expect this out of him every time, because that's just who he is, and it will never stop.
His car, literally, his car was out of control. Like he launched his car into the other car.
Yeah, I can't remember who it was. We covered it, not you, but we covered it on here years ago. When Rivkin was that age, he used to do the same thing. Who was it against? It wasn't against. Was it against Harley? Something? I can't remember. A young racer that he straight out took out like that. And everybody's like, dude. And him and Dakota did it to each other a bunch. And, he's in his mid-20s now and doesn't do it so much. But now, when
See, I
Ungaro,
thought he was a little older than that.
he was 15 when he won the Worlds in 2015.
Yeah, you're right.
So it just feels like he's older because he's been around for forever. And I want to say Dakota's like 27, 28.
No, I don't. I think Dakota's mid-20s. I don't think
Yeah.
he's that old. He was surprisingly young. He might be like early 20s. He might be like 24.
Oh, let me think. 25. Yep, 24, 25, because he was. No, I was trying to think. I don't have a great recollection. He was at the 2010 Roar Nationals in Joliet, Illinois, and he was insanely young. And I remember his mom chain smoking outside, and I had just quit smoking. And I was having a horrible time racing, and I just wanted to bum a cigarette off of her and Travis Amescula, and I didn't. Just her and Travis Amescula just chain smoking outside. It's like, I want to be there chain smoking as well.
Yeah,
No, you'll never get it. You'll never get it, and you should never get it. Smoking's a shitty habit. But yeah. Anyway, hey man, that's all I got for tonight. How about you?
Let's double check the list. Oops, that's not the list. Clean your batteries.
Yes. We forgot to talk about that. Clean your batteries. So you were testing batteries at Island.
Yes.
What were you, $10 a pop, $20 a pop?
I did for free.
Nice.
I did like 50 batteries.
Okay. So
Maybe more.
were some people surprised, like both direction, like, oh, this battery's way better than I thought, or this is a piece of shit?
Yeah, both. And then I actually got to help out a few drivers. I won't name them, just
Yeah.
I don't want to,
Yeah.
in case they. But there was a couple the battery it's really cool to be able to see how good your battery is, or are you comparing it against other brands and that type of thing. But it's also really good to know, I think my battery's like getting old and it's fading. And I think that's why I have so much fade on the track. And like we can legitimately use the battery wizards to determine if that's correct. And that happened.
Right.
It also happened the other way around where people were using batteries in their cars that were worse than the batteries that they weren't using
Huh.
by a substantial portion.
Wow.
So like let's say they had 4 batteries and I tested the 4 of them and the 2 they weren't using that were like last year's race batteries were better than this year's race batteries,
That's
which
kind of funny.
happens.
Roach says the wonderful world of lithium. No kidding. Yeah, and you just had a giant dirty pile of Q-tips. Now, what did you use to clean them? Because I used to use a Dynamite motor cleaner. They don't make it anymore. In that like I love things that come from Amy and Hobbies, but that motor cleaner that they use works terrible and it smells awful.
Just rubbing alcohol.
Okay. Yeah, and that's huge.
It evaporates quick and it's
Yep.
cheap and like it works good. I was thinking about I'm thinking about like selling a battery cleaning kit, but I'm also like, but it wouldn't just be. I have a cool idea for one of the bottles.
Okay.
Because right now, like I use a little dish to dip the Q-tip in,
Yep.
and I have like a baggie of Q-tips.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's kind of like it's not really like I could sell a little kit, but at the same time, like you could probably buy the stuff off Amazon. And I'm like, do I want to do that? Do I not want to do that?
Yeah.
Just like the glue tips,
Okay.
like anybody buying like name brand glue tips is getting ripped off.
Yeah, they are. I forget which direction I went in, but on my A scale, my fifth scale, I use these clips to hold my like receiver connectors together because I don't use switches because switches fail.
Hmm.
One company, you got like 5 of them for like $6. Another company, you got like 50 of them for $8, and they're the exact same thing.
I think it's more expensive than that.
Yeah, really.
I mean, I let's we're gonna
Yep, 4 minutes, Zach.
I got it. I just gotta type in the address. Finger fumbling. I'm not gonna name the brand.
Yep.
But I'm on their website. So if you can see it in the reflection of my glasses, congratulations. Okay, no, it's not that bad. It's
Okay.
okay. It is. They are 59 cents a piece.
Yeah.
Wait. Oh, hold on. There's
That's
another
your price.
company that sells. There's another company that sells
Yeah.
them. That they are $1 a piece.
Oh, geez. No. And Roach says the wonderful world of markups. No kidding. Yeah, we gotta have Roach on here again. He's making cool videos.
Hmm.
What I was gonna say is one of the worst markups I've ever seen, again in the fifth scale world, a plain NGK spark plug goes for $4. Team Lozy puts it in a poly bag and puts their header tag on it and sells it for $16.99.
What?
Yeah. So anyway, let's finish this up. Let's get you out of here. Thanks for coming on. Thanks to our wonderful sponsors, dollarhobbies.com. Hobbies with a Z. At checkout, type in Joe Jr., all one word, to save 10% off your entire order, or DRC to save 15% off of all Donathan RC racing products at dollarhobbies.com. That offer is good until August 31st. And thank you to Party Crashers. If you know a kid who wants to get into it, there's no better way than what they're doing in the St. Michael School District. They teach you how to build it. They give you the kit, the paint, the tools, everything you need. Dirt cheap. Get a hold of Party Crashers. And yeah. and I think we've ran out of talent.
Sure.
All right. Have a good night, everybody.